Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look at snow chances that are falling right now and snow chances that will continue to develop through the rest of our Wednesday, Thursday, and beyond. As always, if you have any questions, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. There I will try to answer any of the questions that you may have about the weather going on across mid-Michigan. We start off right now looking outside. This is our Flint Vehicle City Harley-Davidson camera that has been showing pretty consistent snowfall over the last couple, at least the last hour. There was some reduced visibilities with that snow. Travel may be slowed down at times, but definitely something we're continuing to see here as we enter the 2 o'clock hour, and will continue to be a trend. We move up to Birch Run. This is also an area that is seeing some snowfall. This is again continued over the last few hours, reduced visibilities at times, but traffic through Birch Run has looked decently, it's looked pretty good throughout this time with this snowfall. Still be careful if you do come across any strong development. And then we move a little bit farther north than that. In downtown Saginaw, it's relatively dry. There's been a few flakes here or there since about noon, but for the most part, we are dry. And as we look at our sky tracker, we actually just see that snow chance is mostly to our southern counties. Again, Shiawassee, Genesee, Lapeer, those are the counties that are seeing the most consistent snowfall. Like I just mentioned, Flint has been an area that most of our cameras have continued to show snow there. But even southern Sanilac, southern Tuscola counties, and then south of Saginaw, on and off have gotten snowfall consistent, maybe not the heaviest, but consistent as we've gotten through this early afternoon. It should continue to be something we see. Eventually this will transition into a lake effect snow chance for areas of Huron, Sanilac, Tuscola, and even Lapeer counties. Now, quickly did want to highlight our visibility map, just showing that snowfall is reducing visibility, so just be careful of that as you hit the roads here through the remainder of the afternoon. If you don't have any snowfall, your visibilities will be fine, but again, there are some areas that see that snowfall. Now let's take a look at your hour by hour, because again, here over the next hour to 2 hours, we're going to start to see that southern snow chance maybe move itself to the south, and then we start to see a transition into some lake effect snow. The good thing about this lake effect snow, it's not widespread. Like I mentioned before, it's mostly to our eastern counties. That includes Huron, Sanilac, Lapeer, and Tuscola counties. I think Bad Axe is included in that. Obviously Sandusky, Lapeer. We'll see how far west it does end up moving, but it right now looks to be those areas that will see the best chance of lake effect. It will be on and off through the remainder of our afternoon, but I think beyond 5 p.m. it starts to become more consistent. This is where we start to see sort of bands develop all the way from western Huron County all the way down through Tuscola, Lapeer counties. So that's where you could see that consistent snowfall. Now, like any of our lake effect snow events that we do see in these areas, setup is going to be very different from 1 mile to the next. So you may be traveling tomorrow, even tonight, and if you're traveling from Bad Axe maybe west, you might not see much snow, and then a mile later get into a heavy downfall of snow. So just be careful of that. Obviously, we'll have to just keep an eye out on this snowfall through the remainder of the afternoon, because again, where the lake effect band set up will really determine where you see the heaviest snow amounts as we get through the remainder of our afternoon into tonight, because this is Thursday 1 a.m. still showing lake effect snow through a majority of Sanilac, or a majority of Huron County, through eastern Sanilac County, across eastern Tuscola, and then sort of through the heart of central Lapeer County. And we can see how far south those bands of lake effect snow are reaching. It's from the Bay all the way down to even Metro Detroit, still seeing some snow with that lake effect. As we get through about 4 to 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, we may start to see a slight shift in our wind. That may start to push that lake effect snow a little bit farther to the east. And then I think by mid-morning, winds should be shifted enough out of maybe the north-northwest that lake effect snow could be seeing some of that sort of lighter stuff, so definitely getting in better shape, but still seeing some areas of lake effect snow. Derek asks, hi Stone, was late joining. Could you see that? Could we see the hour by hour again for MP? Yeah, we'll go through it again. We'll have a few times of going through our hour by hour, but my mouse wants to fight me here a little bit. What is going on? There we go, it's back. But like I mentioned, any of that snow down to the south should be gone. I think you're going to probably still see some light stuff. I think it's by 3 to 4 p.m. we start to see that lake effect really develop and start to show itself. And then by beyond 5 p.m., that lake effect snow really starts to set up for areas, again, of Huron, Tuscola, Sanilac, and Lapeer counties. Placement still will be something we have to watch for through the remainder of the night or through the afternoon into the night, because it is lake effect snow and it will change very quickly. Again, like I mentioned, if you're in Bad Axe or anywhere in Huron County, even into Tuscola County, if you're driving east, you're driving west, you may catch a mile or two where you don't see much snow at all. Then next thing you know, you're in a heavy snowfall from lake effect. And then the remainder of mid-Michigan, you actually look to be relatively in good shape, especially if you live out towards 127, maybe up to the north, you could catch some of that lake effect snow. But for the most part, you're actually going to be dry within this period of snowfall. And that includes Mount Pleasant, Elma, Clare. I think Gladwin, you should be in good shape. Even maybe get some clear skies into Thursday morning. So that's just something that you can look forward to. It's just going to be those areas out east that you do have some heavy snow possible here over the next 24 hours. Most of Thursday will be dry. It's going to be late Thursday that we see another round of snow look to move itself in. That will continue to develop on and off throughout Friday. So if you have travel plans Friday, especially across much of mid-Michigan, this is where it may start to equalize out that snow chance, and then obviously giving more snow chances for areas out in eastern mid-Michigan for Friday. Now, I did want to quickly highlight the National Weather Service has continued to hold on to winter storm watches for Huron and Sanilac counties. That is, again, for areas seeing up to about 6+ inches of snow possible, and then gusts up to 35 miles per hour. So blowing snow could be a concern when we do see wind start to increase here again late tonight into tomorrow morning. So if you have travel plans, if you live in Bad Axe, you live in Huron County, you live in Sanilac County, just be prepared for slowdowns, snow-covered roads, maybe some slick spots of ice. If we do get some melting early in this round of snow, that melting will try to refreeze as we see temperatures drop tonight into tomorrow morning. And one thing everyone's going to notice across mid-Michigan for right now is wind. It is going to be breezy outside. Right now, our sustained winds are out of the north at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and we're seeing wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So Port Hope is right around 31, Mount Pleasant at 20, Holton Lake at 23, West Branch 20, and Flint at 25. And winds will continue to increase through the remainder of our Wednesday through our Thursday, most likely Fridays. We just have that set up within the atmosphere to have the strong wind. And like I mentioned, temperatures will start to drop. We are below freezing right now with mid to lower 20s for much of mid-Michigan, but we're starting to see that cool down, especially to the north, where you're seeing teens in areas like Clare, Gladwin, West Branch, and Holton Lake at 18, all the way down to 14 in Holton Lake. So we will have that temperature drop as we get through the remainder of today. We'll also see feels like temperatures become a factor across all of mid-Michigan. So right now, most areas that are in the 20s are in the teens because of that wind. And then areas that are in the teens, you're seeing feels like temperatures below zero or near zero. So Holton Lake, 1 below, Gladwin at 1 above, Clare at 0, West Branch at 6, and Standish at 4. So it's definitely feeling cool. Gonna need that jacket. It is January, so I assume most people do have their winter gear out and ready for the cold weather. But we've we've been actually pretty nice here over the last couple of weeks, with some days in the 40s and 50s. So that's definitely been the roller coaster we've been on in terms of weather, and we continue to see that roller coaster of weather here over the next couple of days. But I do have to take a quick break. Once I come back from that break, we're going to take another look at temperatures through tonight into tomorrow, and then just more at that snow chance that we do have over the next couple of days. So stay right here. We'll have all those updates on the backside of the break. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for the second half of our 2 p.m. First Alert Weather live stream. We're going to start off here looking at our lows tonight. Like I mentioned before the break, temperatures are going to start to drop here over the next couple of hours. And as we get through the night, our lows will be in the single digits for a majority of mid-Michigan. There will be a few areas that hold on to the teens, but it's mostly mid to lower teens. So really not that much difference. Most locations are below average for this time of year, with average sitting at 16 degrees. So definitely going to be one of those nights into tomorrow morning if you have travel plans, or maybe you're going to be out just taking care of your driveway, maybe getting ahead of that snow, or maybe you're going to be up tomorrow morning heading off to work or school or just whatever your morning routine is. It's definitely going to be colder out there. And like I mentioned, wind is going to stay strong through the remainder of our day into tonight. So our feels like temperatures will continue to drop and remain below zero. Here we can see this is 2 a.m. Feels like temperatures for Thursday morning at single digits, really from about 5 below zero to 15 to 16 below zero. So it's just one of those mornings you need to be bundled up. This is 6 a.m. as more people are starting to get out and about for their morning routine, seeing those temperatures in the teens below zero. Our warmest areas, and even it's not that warm, is 6 below and 4 below zero, and Bad Axe and Port Hope, and those areas will be fighting snowfall. So if you don't have snow, you're still going to be cold. If you have obviously be prepared for that. If you are going to be shoveling tomorrow morning, which again, areas like Bad Axe, Port Hope, Port Austin, I think Caseville, eastern Tuscola County into northern Lapeer County and Sanilac County, those will be areas as you get out to shovel tomorrow morning. Just be prepared for those colder temperatures. It does recover a little bit into the end of the morning Thursday, and as you get into the afternoon, still cold, but definitely recovering from those below zero feels like temperatures. Highs for Thursday afternoon we should be back into the teens and 20s, so pretty similar to what we're going to see today. Obviously still cold out there, but it is January. We are used to this sort of cool down. Like I mentioned before, though, we've been pretty lucky with 30s, 40s, and even some 50s, so this is definitely going to feel cool to some as we get through the day. Wind also continues to be a sight. This is through the remainder of today. This is actually 8 p.m. wind from the northeast or northwest at 20 to 40 miles per hour. So that is why we're seeing that chance of lake effect snow. Wind increases through the remainder of today. It's over the open waters there of the bay and the lakes. So that's why lake effect snow looks to develop in Huron County, Tuscola County, and also out to the west. If you have any family members that are along 131, live out towards Lake Michigan, they are also going to see lake effect snow, and that is just because our wind is from the northeast or northwest. This is right before midnight at 11 p.m. Winds still at 20 to 40 miles per hour with those strongest winds along our shoreline cities in Huron County. So Caseville, Port Austin, Port Hope, you're definitely going to have those strong winds. You're definitely going to hear it. You'll probably see blowing snow. That could obviously become a concern as you get more accumulations here through the remainder of our afternoon and into tonight. It does want to calm down a little bit into mid-Thursday, even into Thursday night and evening, but it's not a long-term relief. By the time we get into Friday, our wind will start to increase once again. The one difference for the end of the week compared to the midweek is going to be the direction. Our wind by Friday morning is going to be out of the south-southwest at 20 to 30. So lake effect snow, maybe not much of a concern. Out west, it definitely could be, but for mid-Michigan, it doesn't look like it. But obviously another chance of falling snow as we get into Friday. And we're back to our hour by hour because I do want to highlight it again for anyone that's joining the stream a little bit later. Here over the next couple of hours, we'll transition any of that snow down to the south of us, a little bit farther south, but it's going to transition lake effect snow into the picture. And that lake effect snow will be on and off to start the afternoon from about 3 p.m. to 5 p.m., but definitely become more consistent beyond 5 p.m. through 10 p.m. here. We can see sort of large bands of lake effect snow reaching from the bay all the way through Lapeer County and then along the shorelines there in eastern Sanilac and Huron County. So those will be the areas that look to see the most consistent snowfall and the heaviest snowfall. If you live anywhere west of those areas, again, including the Tri-Cities, including the 127 corridor, it really puts us in dry conditions, which is a good thing, I think, for anyone that doesn't like that snowfall. But that lake effect snow continues for our eastern counties through about 7 to 8 a.m. tomorrow, and then we start to see that wind shift enough out of the northwest where you might get some light lake effect snow, but for the most part, we should be dry. We actually see some sunshine to start the day Thursday, especially out west. But as we get into the afternoon, cloud cover will start to increase itself once again, and then we have our next round of snow. That will start up early Friday morning, as early as 4 to 5 a.m., and then just expand across mid-Michigan as we get into the afternoon. We'll see how consistent this snow sets up. Still some questions within models. Not all of the forecasting models are agreeing, but it definitely looks like we'll have that snow chance as we get through Friday morning, and then by 2 p.m. becoming more isolated. Still maybe a few lake effect snow chances off the bay, or not off the bay, but off of Lake Michigan late Friday as winds may start to shift back again out of the west. So that will be just something we have to look for here over the next really 24 hours. Now in terms of snow totals for tonight into Thursday, so we are cutting this off Thursday morning. If I had to give you an exact time, I think it's going to be probably by about 9 to 10 a.m. when that snowfall cuts off. So for this, a trace to 2 inches, again, that is including through the remainder of today, especially for 127. I think that's an area you are going to be on the lighter side. But our concerns will definitely continue to be towards our eastern counties, eastern Tuscola, eastern Lapeer County, through really central Lapeer County, and then Sanilac County, a majority of that at 1 to 4. And then as you get towards Huron County, there's been a little shift since this morning. If you did watch Wake Up, you probably noticed that 4 to 7, well, was 4 to 6. We have jumped up a little bit. There's been some signals we could get a little bit higher than that. Again, are getting on the higher end of things at 6 to 7 inches. And then you probably have also noticed that area has expanded just a little bit. And that is because we have seen a little bit of a shift out to the east, or out to the west, I mean, of those snow bands. So sort of west of Bad Axe, getting now south into northeast Tuscola County and the northern Sanilac County has been that expansion of that 4 to 7 plus inches. And it is lake effect snow. You could see localized higher totals than even that. You could be a little bit smaller than that. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, it's just one of those things. Most of you in Huron County, you're used to that lake effect snow, but obviously if you do get it, you want to be prepared for that, and just be prepared. It's going to shift just based on where that lake effect snow does set up through the remainder of tonight into tomorrow morning. Now, before I end the stream, we are going to take a look at our 7-day forecast. It is showing almost 7 days of snow chances. It's just getting into a pattern of snow I think our most consistent snow chances will be tonight into Thursday morning. I think Thursday afternoon could be mostly dry, but definitely seeing some snow on and off. Friday holds another chance of snow. That could carry over into the weekend. There's been some talks about this. If you're someone that maybe pays attention online to some of those weather forecasts, you've probably been hearing, I know the Weather Prediction Center highlighted this last week, being we could see some sort of active snow patterns heading into the weekend, and that has continued to hold on here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So just be prepared. If you're someone that likes snow, this is obviously a good sort of 7-day for you. If you're someone that doesn't like snow, it just looks to continue to hold on. And I think we're also seeing that trend as well of colder temperatures continuing to hold on to 20s for Saturday and Sunday, and then possibly dropping into the teens as we get into next week. So it is January. It's that time of year. I think most of us are used to seeing those snow chances and colder temperatures, but it has been pretty nice here over the last couple of weeks where we have gotten some warmer days that has ended up giving us some rain, which isn't the best thing for many, but we are getting more consistency out of our models when it comes to temperatures and it comes to maybe some chances of snow. But with that, I don't see any questions over in our chat. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today. As always, oh, would they just download the winter weather advisory? That's okay. Sorry, we just got an update. National Weather Service has now issued Huron and Sanilac counties into a winter weather advisory. So, just for any of that area, there was some question marks about whether the National Weather Service would maybe upgrade that to a winter storm warning, or maybe keep it at a winter storm watch a little bit longer, or give it a winter weather advisory. They have now pushed that to a winter weather advisory. Again, most likely looking at that 3 to 6 inches. A few areas, if you can get under the right lake effect snow band, could be a little bit higher than that. Gust up to 35 miles per hour. So that's the update here. As we get to 2 o'clock, we'll have more updates on that winter weather advisory through the rest of the day. So make sure you tune in to our newscast at 4, 5, 5:30, and 6. We'll again have updates on some of the latest model runs. And then obviously tune in this evening. Chief Meteorologist Chris Easlick will have more updates as we get through the rest of the day. You can also scan this QR code right below me, or head over to your app store on your Apple or Google devices. Or you will be able to get to the app store and it will download our First Alert weather app, where we'll send more updates through the rest of the afternoon. We'll also have live radar on there and just keep you up to date with all the weather happening across mid-Michigan. But hopefully you can have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Stay dry if you are in an area that is seeing snow. Stay warm for the rest of mid-Michigan that sees temperatures dropping, and just enjoy the rest of the week.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.